Hi guys, it's Mike again here. This video I'm doing is on a HYIP, high yielding investment program, and it is Nano-11. I've had lots of requests to do a video on this particular program. On the face of it, it doesn't look any different from your usual HYIP. It's got the they seem to want to tell you exactly how many days they've been online. They've got the usual phone numbers who nobody ever answers, and what else do they have? Nothing new here. You can rate them, video office, investment plans, etc. You have a help box here that always seems to annoyingly pop up. You try to talk to somebody and you have to wait ages, and then sometimes when you put a request in there, it says that there's nobody online, and to send an email or message and somebody will get back to you within 24 hours. That's in spite of them insisting that they've got a 24-hour support, which I guess it is 24 hours support, in fact, that you get a response in 24 hours time. So why they have this pop-up box, I don't know. If they should really just ask you just to send them an email, but it looks good from their point of view. Right, what else is there? They've got stats down here, what's actually been withdrawn, what's actually been deposited. Whether or not you can believe this or not, I don't know. I tend to take this as a pinch of salt. And they say that they're paying. From what I've seen from various HYIP monitors, they seem to be paying. Yes, that's true. And they got up to 4% daily from $25. So as far as HYIP's concerned, that's quite a conservative figure. And they got some other rates here up to 1,111% after, from, I don't know what they mean from that, $75. And you got another one here, Nano Plus, which is 12% daily after $150. So those are kind of really non-achievable figures without something drastic happening after a while. This figure here, I can say is more an acceptable figure to go with as HYIPs go. Here you have your almost obligatory video here. Now these videos, if you look at, if you compare with other HYIPs online, you notice that the videos are all fairly similar. All these guys here, they're all actors. You can go to a site called Fiverr, and you can hire an actor who will sit at a desk like this and read a script that the originators of this program has told him to read. Now, what normally they appear to be in an office, but basically it's a green screen. So he's obviously sitting in, I don't know, whatever it is, some kind of office somewhere, with a green screen behind it, and then they can superimpose another image behind him. An example of that is another popular program at the moment. I'll show you quickly now, if it will load on time. My computer's fairly slow at the moment, sorry about that. Right, here it is. Here you have another one. If you get a chance to get into this particular website, have a look. Again, this guy is obviously cut out, green screen background with an office environment in the back, and that's quite common. They all seem to be having that at the moment, along with these testimonials. With this particular one, Nano-11, they've got again the typical testimonials. Again, these are all actors that all just so happen to have their laptop open, the page with the Nano-11 website there. And I'd ask you to just to go through and play some of these testimonials, and you will see that they're all obviously actors reading a script, true to form, and nothing new there. Anyway, Let's go along to what they say about themselves. Now, this first paragraph, I've got to read this to you, okay? And just on this paragraph alone, you will know that this is something you want to stay away from. They read, Nanotechnologies Investments, Nano-11 Limited is an investment scientific group that has been working on capital placement in business processes, whatever that means, with high financial yield since 2011. Okay, since 2011. I said it one more time. They said since 2011. Their company name is Nano-11 Limited. Okay, they're registered again in the UK. They're actually in Belfast in Ireland. They're actually listed in Companies House. This is the organisation that lists all the limited companies in the UK, gives you a rundown on all the directors, the names, where they reside, etc., etc. Now this is the address where they reside, Queen Street, Belfast in the UK. Okay, and they're down as a private limited company and incorporated 16th of November 2015. And what was the date that they claim to have been working from? 2011. That's a big difference, isn't it, from 2015? So that's the biggest lie that I've seen. It's quite obvious, actually. All you've got to do is a simple check and you'll find out that what they say on their homepage is the first lie. That's in the first paragraph. I'm not even going to bother reading the rest of it because it's all complete nonsense. If you get a chance to read that, you'll be scratching your head to find out what it actually means, because a lot of it is just it sounds important, but when you sit back and try to digest what it is that you just read, you know that it's a load of rubbish. Nothing. It means absolutely nothing at all. So that doesn't really mean much because I don't really pay attention to any of that. It's just find out just how much of a scam this particular program is. Okay, I'm not even going to go into this site and then look at the stuff that they claim, because as with all the others, they're all kind of outlandish claims, which they're not really going to achieve, and not that they want to achieve it. That is. So I'm going to go into Alexa on this particular one as usual and just see how it's been performing. Now it's been going since almost beginning of March, halfway through Feb, beginning of March. Okay, and it's gone at like not a gradual, it's quite a fast growth actually, but not as fast as most HYIPS, who tend to die off quickly. So this kind of grew up until the beginning of April, and then it kind of, the growth spurt kind of slowed, and then it kind of took off again. Now right at the top up here, I'm not sure, I can't quite make it, but it looks like an early peak. I'm not sure, I can't really tell, but it does look like one. But because it's had a booster here, it may well have a little booster there, so there's no telling what's going to happen here. So if you're interested in jumping onto a hype, because a lot of my videos is basically warning you against programs that I know that are scams, and to what degree of a scam it is, that's another thing. How long it's going to last, that's another thing, and whether or not the potential owners of the hype, in case, whether or not they have other sites online at the same time. I would suspect many of these guys who've got these hypes online have others online at the same time, so they're cleaning up everywhere basically. But yes, going back, I do a lot of these exposés on hypes, and on the comments on some of the videos that I do, although I've stripped down a hype and I've told you that it's a scam and how much of a scam and when it's likely to close, I'll get comments like, how much should I put into it? How much should I invest in it? After me telling them that it's about to crash. So whatever I say on this, there are still going to be people who are going to invest in it. I wouldn't actually call it invest, I'll call it gamble. So for those of you hardcore hype fans who are considering this, compared to a lot of HYIPS, this one isn't too bad because it's still in the ascendancy. It's still growing. How long it's got to go, what direction this is going to take, I can't say. This is quite an odd one actually, because it's at a state here where I don't know if it's going to level or whether or not it's still a little bit of growth there. But I would say that it's better than most. And having said that, on whatever tariffs that it's got, it looks like it's got 3 here: basic, standard and plus. I would actually tend to go for the more conservative one, which is this one here, which I would assume would be the shortest period of time that you'd have to keep your money in. If you've got to keep your money in for like a month, 2, 3 months, then that's a big gamble at this stage, because earlier on here, when it's just started, then yes, fair enough, you can put it in for 2, maybe 3 months, and then ride it out, grab your money and run. But because it's been going for a few months already, and we don't know which direction it's going to take, this is purely a gamble. So I would leave that up to you guys and see whether or not you want to go ahead with that. On that note, I'm going to go to Coince, and I've done videos on Coince before. Now, the more I read about it, the more I've seen it, the more I'm convinced this is going to disappear fairly soon. It's been going longer than I expected. Obvious things like this share certificate here. I'm not even going to spend time on this. You know, if you've got a share certificate of your business, why would you have sample written all across it? It's either a legit certificate or it's not. Why would you have a sample? Why would you cover that up? That is just one of many disparitions, things on here that I look at. I'm not even go through it. I've gone through it on my previous video, so if you look at that, you will know what I'm talking about. Again, these videos here, they're all staged, all weird characters. These are not normal people, and you've got to laugh when you see some of them. Or again, just happen to have their laptops open up and they're reading scripts. All on hire from Fiverr.com. Right, again on here, let's have a look. I do the last one on here. They claim to have been founded on January the 18th. Rapidly became one of the major leaders in the wholesale electricity market. We quickly go to what am I talking about? Company's House, and what does it show us? It shows us from 2008 incorporation. That's when they started, and 2009 it's a dormant company. 2010 it's a dormant company. All the way up to 2011, and it's still a dormant company, i.e. doing nothing, not trading. 2012, it's a dormant company. So much for growing and leading the market, etc., etc. Up until 2012, they did nothing. So that just gives you an idea of where they're coming from, what they claim to be and what they're not. So anyway, here they've peaked. Now they actually peaked the beginning of April, and they've been cruising up and down slightly, but overall from there to there it's a downward path. You can see that, and I've been told by other people who said, Mike, give it up, mate, you don't know what you're talking about. This is a solid company, it's going to be going around for years. They've just got a new system whereby they've got 3% per day, and this is going to go on forever. There's a reason, I think, why they introduced 3%, is because they noticed that the downward spiral that it's taken, and they did that in order to jerry up some more funds for people to put more money in the hope that they're going to get that out. Now, I suspect whenever they introduced that 3%, they factored in that when it comes to paying out, they will no longer be around. So I would be very wary of that. So if you are in there, I'd be careful, guys. And one other thing, there's another one that's going to crash or is already crashed. I keep seeing the banners all over the place, and it's Rixos Finance. If you've got funds in there, I'd try to get it out as soon as you can. They are in dire trouble. I never really liked the look of this particular one. They've peaked as well. They're not going anywhere, so I think they're going to be off and out with your money if you've got money in there already. So on that note, guys, I've run out of time. Good luck. if you can retrieve your money, do so, and I will see you in the next video. Okay.